Amitabha Buddha salutes the people. People woke up this morning. The first idea is, do people remember the Buddha? People remember the Buddha, but do people have the heart to pray for the dead? People do. Yesterday, the great quotes in the pure-born wish of the great master. The rest of the day continues with that topic is quoted in Pure Land. Resolve to commit of the master in a short period of time. The people remember the pure birth of the vow. What is that? The ecstasy of the Western world. There is no doubt. The problem is that there is no idea. Without a doubtful notion. Without a doubtful notion. Remember the people. This time I got a college degree. The big thing is that we have to take care of ourselves. Why? A lot of people get it wrong. Remember the Pure Land practice. I heard that the Pure method is easy to practice. But it's very difficult to build trust. Long days, long months, long years. More than for years of experience. Your belief, on the contrary, is that it's very wobbly. There's no motivational reminder. There is no great advice every day. Is the bodhicitta mind? Faith is so easily lost. So, the thing that comes out of pure doubt. You gave me a very good book. And a giant's based on this foundation. Where universities go, they go. Because why have you been practicing? As if these are just statements. Then understand something. Aware of what the problem is. To share your learning so that we can strengthen it. Strong is this belief, one thought of doubt about the Pure Land. It's very important to have a dubious idea about the purity of this place. It should be day and day. Who says I talk a lot with the morning? Afternoon post, evening post, free to get her. Well, what's a good stage to remember the West Sao? Extreme memory Sao reference. Let me often remember the modern Buddha. Share immediately. People are afraid to forget they can do it. But sometimes I say I'm afraid I don't know what to say or forget. They should be the ones waiting for something. Share you try to listen. What song are you trying to listen to? Sometimes some things I know, but I can't do it. If you can't do it, listen. Listen. Do and listen. To listen is to listen. The two of them stayed together for a long time. Within a few months it became a Buddhist remembering strain. The thought of the Buddha in this mind is profound about death. Born or not, it was completely due to his own ideas. Do you want to be born or not? There are many people who recite the Buddha, but the masses are sure they recite the Buddha. What do they do when they are born? Let's say there's a very old nun. It's very old. She was very ill that day. It's like living and dying again. She closed her eyes. It's called seeing as leaving, almost leaving. She saw the head of a horse. She saw how many scary things came her way. That she remembers something. She remembers Kwarnavalakatesva. But in the moment of remembrance, she said it was Kuan Yin. Let me hope these kids get out of me. Let me escape this suffering. But just thinking, I'm sorry to satisfy her. To the blessing of the Kuan Yin touch appeared. So she said she thought of the Kuan Yin, but in her mind, she wanted to escape this yoke. She wants to get rid of this owner. And then she's mindful and she's awake. She's startled. She woke up. She asked the pure-hearted. At that time I thought like that. Can you be born or not? It is based on the words of Master Kuan. The words of the 10 Germans are not certain. It may be that at the time of death, the memory of the title Buddha, you recite the title of Bodhisattva. It's a good relationship. Strain Buddha. It is called the blessed name. Maybe in the next life you will be born into a noble house or give birth to a world that is good, but the dead is not sure. Why? Because what's the last idea you have of reciting the Buddha? Want to be healthy, want to wake up, want to escape. It's not that the Buddha wants to pray for that birth. It's either a bodhisattva or a Buddha. But the idea is to recite the Buddha for something. Is it different? He's also a person who goes to school to get knowledge. A person who benefits others. How many people benefit from a person's knowledge? For how many societies? He's also a person who takes that knowledge. I'm just worried about my little career. Take care of your small family. It's also knowledge. A person who goes smuggling drugs. Go and do evil things. Learning that knowledge. What A is called fostering. Learning is good or bad. What makes it good? But the idea behind it, the goal behind it is completely different. One wants to get this knowledge. This knowledge does little good for the home country. For society, someone who only cares about a small family. One takes that knowledge to get the dam. For drug trafficking, to get that dirty coin back to me. It's also learning, but the goal is different. Back to the problem is also recitation of Buddha. One who recites the Buddha, pray for the future. I just want to quickly become a Buddha again. She let the sentient beings. It's also a Buddhist recitation. But they pray for them to escape. Just pray for the family to be happy. The time of death depends on that karma to be born. It depends on the idea that they recite the Buddha. They want them to be rich and happy. Then they re-rich and happy. And they recite the Buddha, they pray for the birth. To quickly become a Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. Come back to me, follow that karma. According to that thought. To the ecstatic Western world. You hear this process, you understand it or not. So at Sao, the great sharing sessions, Lord, keep repeating it over and over again. Our recitation of the Buddha, we have to identify a path, a goal, a direction for clarity. For transparency. Don't run away, don't miss a thing. A little bit in the other direction. Now, even though there is a Buddhist temple, Buddha has a bodhisattva seed. The name is blessed. The next life can be rich and the family respected. But it's a threat. A disaster for the third life. Rich is hard. Big newspaper blessing. I'm not sure we got that blessing. We make love continue, but we don't know that we have blessings. We have power. It's our power to oppress the people below us, doing bad things. What is it? Is it the tragedy of the third life? You will go to heaven once you get the blessing. All the blessings are over. The sky also has a lifespan, so happy to go up there and be happy. Feel at ease in. What is it like to enjoy without creating? Enjoy a day at the end. After all, we know how to remain lost in life and death. About the West ecstasy, in the blessing. Enjoying the ecstasy of the Western world. It's not enjoyment in the sexual realm, in the infatuation, but take the fun. Happiness in the ecstasy of the Western world. Make the vehicle. It's a condition for us to nurture. It's our bodhicitta. It's like it's too noisy outside. Or some environments that we can't cultivate. We can find a little bit of solitude. The temple is tiny. Let us calm our minds. It is easier to look at our minds. It's the same in this world, in this evil time of 5. It's so hard. It's so hard. So now, we want to migrate to ecstasy to have an environment. There's a better way for us to practice. To quickly become a Buddha to increase the frequency of sentient beings. It's not like we're going there alone. The Buddha taught me to come up here. It's happy. It's to give you the opportunity to practice, to cultivate your bodhicitta-centered mind. It's not for me to enjoy pleasure. It is very well taught by the Buddha. It should be said that Buddha taught very well. Here are to people who want you. Listen to these stages. Every day the two of us talk. The heart of your faith. goal direction. The recitation of the Buddha is the Vai Good I. There's no other idea. It's very important, people, over and over again, over and talk back and forth, talk back and forth. How to do it for everyone to practice Pure Land. You must know that one thing. My goal in reciting the Buddha is to recite the book. Why? In the end, we deal with suffering. In the 6 ways of birth and death, the big thing has been solved. The little thing is rich and happy. Have fun at everything, that will be all for us. Today I read a passage from the Master. Obey the teaching. Through all the places, everything is either good or evil. Because of the Buddha's memory, he often swore an oath. They usually swear, that's the prayer of birth. Gentlemen, here you hear these stages, it's kind of hard to hear or understand. I really mean it, your words are exactly the same. This process is like what Chong said. Master Bick is the 9th ancestor of the Pure Land. He said whether it's good or evil, always have the heart to pray. As the great ones often mention, good thoughts and good deeds. Ask if it's small or if it's large. If it's small or if it's large. There is always a wish for you to return to the West. I pray for the blissful West. I pray for God's blessings. This newspaper about the ecstasy of the West. Perfect concurrency is. Direction of net. And you are useful. You say we do evil. We do evil. But to be called good and evil is to be called pure. When we do our evil, they see us wrong. We think evil. We see we're wrong. Mistake, I sorry Buddha. I am the one who recites but I think it's Buddha. Not right. It's wrong. Nonmue Dido Buddha, son of a penitent-minded Dido Buddha. What does Amitabha Buddha mean? Not afraid to start. I'm just afraid of slowing down. Our ordinary AI that grass has greed. Who doesn't have a bad idea? As you can see, he knows it's a good thing. See, it knows it. And I took the Buddha's name and started it. Take that heart of repentance to the ecstasy of the Western world. Good to see good devotion towards ecstasy. Let it deposit the ecstasy of the West. Give the center a point. When you feel bad, think of all the bad tattoos Dido Buddha. I repent. Take me back to the ecstasy of the West. What is good is also Amitabha Buddha. About the West evil, also Amitabha Buddha. About the West, complete the most focused of all evils in the direction of pure birth. This place is extremely important. It's extremely important. That's why you, the one who says you have too much karma. Are you thinking too much? It is important that you have an direction to return or not. If there's a goal, there's a clear direction, precision, transparency. Don't be afraid to come back. It's a matter of whether you have heavy karma or light that you will turn your head. Do you remember this Buddha sign? What is the one-pointed Buddha verse? It's a mind that's completely dedicated. This one Buddha sign, this one wish, that can solve the problem of birth and death for us. Right in this life, this body is the last body in this world. This life of mortals peeing on the ground like ourselves. Like ourselves, folks. To learn these teachings, this learning Buddha's strategy, bless the great ones. You are the great ones who love the great ones. Bless those with the power, with the ability to talk like giants. It was embarrassing to go to school when it's babbling. Lions sometimes read the wrong spelling, friends laugh. But when you say purity, when you say burning vow, this power is not of the great. The great assertions are, not all people have a possibility. What power to share with? The blessed force. The great master calendar is blessing the protection, because people are reading the teachings of the great patriarch. Here's back to the talking point through everything good or evil. Because of the Buddha, I often swear. That's what good and evil is. But the true recitation of the Buddha can pray for eternal life. As the Master said, good or evil, keep in mind the Buddha pray for the birth. Complete all evils of Pure Land. We have a goal here, the way to go back. And then every time you practice, don't have coal. Don't say karma to professional. It's too heavy instead of saying, oh, it's too heavy. Why is my karma so deep? Why am I so guilty? I keep saying, to consider the opportunity to recite the Buddha's opportunity to recite the Buddha's every difficult time to the opportunity to recite the Buddha's recitation. I am negative. One side of me is positive, the pure or the worldly. Must always be energy oriented. Always be positive, don't be negative. Listen, don't be negative. It's through this stage here that you tell me. Suppose as in the Bible, in the vow of the King of Prussia often said, all evil is done. There is no longer good work to waste what is quickly achieved. Sincere people recite this Buddha sign. Even if it's wrong to make me. He even tried to do evil, but it's due to merit. Day by day I cultivate the Buddha's name. Be honest with the practice. What does this Buddha sign mean? It's fostering the merit of the newspaper. It's cleaning up our karma. You say here that all evil is not done. A sincere person with one heart and one heart, Buddha, one mind. What is it like? Buddha's law of blessing the universal light. What is the name Buddha also called? The title Buddha is also known as the title ABC. What is it called? Amitabha Buddha is an infinite number of lives. Infinite trigonometry, infinite intelligence. Sincere people recite this Buddha sign. It's meant to nourish our longevity. Countless, unjustly countless karma, infinite wisdom, into our minds. Even though karma is deep, sometimes it moves. It tempts us to do evil things. You said everything. Evil once it rises, but by regularly reciting the name Buddha. Discard what doesn't work. The evil is like good work. Where do good works come from? So, by the power of reciting this Buddha title, this place, trust has to be built. Have faith, no doubt. This one Buddha sign that solves birth and death. You can even do good deeds. This one Buddha sign clinging to the truth. This one Buddha sign, there's magic in there. We gradually remember. It's as if there's something it's teaching. Are guiding us? Step by step, it's strange. The feeling of this, but the greater the share of Pure Land. The gaping hole is meant to be like the gaping hole. There's no intention of doing that. I don't know why. But it in my own mind. It's like there's a guy scouting. Guide me. That's what you do. The morning sermon. That's what you have to say in the afternoon. If sometimes it's modern. If you take a day and for hours, then free to share the net say stop. What is possible? But there's a force behind me. It's tempting that you have to do it. Go ahead. I'll bless you with that kind of thing. It says here that. Where did I come from? I believe in God. The Buddha never. Leave these dear children. The news there. So, that's what it means. That's what this idea is. If you truly recite this Buddha's name, he said in the mouth of the king that everything was done. Let all evil be undone. All jobs are fully realized. I recited the Buddha from myself. So, he said reciting the Buddha constantly in his heart, you can achieve all the merit of that Pure Land. You say be honest all the time, reciting the Buddha continuously. What is here today? Remember the day after tomorrow. The day is also remember this month also remembers. I remember this year and every year. All my life reciting the Buddha. Keep reciting Buddha, keep reciting whatever Buddha. It is. He said he can achieve all the virtues of pure virtue. It all touches, bumping into adversity. Amitabha Buddha let me go to the West. If there is a cause, there must be a Buddha. That's the cause. Adversity to Amitabha Buddha. That's the cause. Everything is difficult. Let's challenge ourselves to Amitabha Buddha. That's why they keep telling themselves. Don't say career. Instead of us saying that karma is miserable, it is too bad that there is such a problem, I say, Amitabha Buddha, let me go to the West. The world is hard for me to go to the West. Once they don't come, once a difficult obstacle comes, once I had the opportunity to look at her, she was miserable. Once there was the blissful Western birth vow. Because ecstasy is so much fun. You just need to get the wrong idea. Just switch the idea. Usually an extremely negative person, an extremely positive person. That's what our pure-hearted people are like. There are people who are always smiling, always be positive and love life in this life. Go to someone who is always happy. Why? Because I want to make the West happy. The ecstatic Western world without suffering. Why is the person up there? Happy people have no one to worry about. Teach our people to recite. You have to raise two fingers. Every time I meet a couple of friends, I laugh. Smiling, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, this life is one more smile to create one more joy. To make it even more fun, so to speak. Who can recite the Buddha continuously in his heart? He can achieve all the virtues of pure virtue. The Buddha is the cause. The Buddha is the fruit. The Buddha is the cause of all good and evil. As the great speakers are all pure-hearted, this life is surely remembered. The Buddha is the cause. The Buddha is the effect. Whatever it is, it is. Let's see if we're honest. It's like a prayer. Your vow will never be broken. It's never a lie. Only I lied to you. What did you lie to me about? You don't. I have no use for you. Where did your compassion take you up there? But if I lie to you, this is the crime. It is worth my crime. Don't deceive the bodhisattvas above and the bodhisattvas below. Lying to everyone. But in my heart I deceive myself. I will spend my life. Remember to listen to the crowd. I hope people try. The masses make diligent efforts. This life determined to give birth to the West ecstasy. It's so fun to learn the Master's movements. It's so fun to have a good mood. Try it. It must be late. May the people pray to the Buddha for a lifetime. He soon returned to the Western world. Non tissue ad do Buddha.